Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Being the second trilogy in the Jurassic Park franchise, this film is the third and final extravaganza in the Jurassic World trilogy, combining new characters that we've come to know over the last 7 years with the original Jurassic Park cast. So this is Key's Reviews and this is my review of Jurassic World Dominion.
It is. I'm alone at last.
Exciting times.
Yeah, I'm living the Alan Grant life. It's just
Can be lonely.
so free.
Ellie, you didn't come out all this way just to catch up now, did you?
Jurassic World Dominion, more like Jurassic World Plot Conveniences, is the third and final entry to the Jurassic World trilogy, fusing the new cast with the original trio. I went in with no expectations, hoping to be surprised with a good time full of dinosaur battles, intense action, and possibly some laughs along the way, as this did end up being a legacy sequel. I barely got anything that I was hoping for from this epic finale. I thought from the reviews that it'd be bad, but it proved to be absolutely awful. This is in no way much of an improvement from its predecessor Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, as the two main issues contained within this movie were the plot conveniences and the runtime. The story was predictable all the way through, and whenever the script made a turn to put the characters into situations that seemingly felt like they couldn't get out of it, miraculously was resolved without any real danger or stakes to it. It made the movie super boring, and without any stakes to the movie, how can you be invested as an audience? The runtime is a very lengthy 2.5 hours, and it's not like a Marvel movie where that time flies by. This took forever, and I really mean forever, to end. Way too overlong in order to compensate for two characters that we haven't seen in 21 years, Jurassic World Dominion tried to balance 4 separate storylines, and that just drew the film out way longer and made it more convoluted than it needed to be. The sad thing was, there only needed to be 2 of those storylines in the final cut, not 4, as the remaining 2 were completely unnecessary to the overarching story and only really served the purpose of bringing Sam Neill and Laura Dern back into the Jurassic Park franchise. As much as it was nice to see the original actors back together again, their story arc wasn't needed, and instead could have come in towards the end of the film and resulted in being a nice and concise 90-minute film, giving Jurassic Park fans what they wanted. Instead, they swapped it out to be terribly long and ultimately dissatisfying and completely underwhelming. It was so underwhelming that it felt as if the writers had completely forgotten about the dinosaurs, and for an hour and a half, they did. They were focused on locusts and humans instead of the dinosaurs, which in fact forgets the entire point of why audiences liked Jurassic Park in the first place. By diverging from why fans come to these movies in favour of focusing on the human characters, it ruined the experience. When a massive dinosaur battle seemed to begin, it was interrupted or featured in the background as the movie continued to focus on human characters that the audience just don't care about in the end. I will give credit to the movie where it's due, as the score was very well composed and the sound mixing for the sound effects was incredible, making for an energetic experience at the cinema, but all in all, if you miss out on seeing this in cinemas, it might just be 2.5 hours of your life that you have saved and get to keep. Credit where it's due, the absolute highlight of this entire movie was the 20-minute sequence set in Malta, showcasing its beautiful country and all of its landmarks, while also accommodating a brilliantly made action sequence. The audience with which I saw this movie was so bored by the first hour, but when the Malta sequence was on, we were all back into it and excited. But then once the sequence was done, and the story moved on from Malta, we all went back to not caring again. What really annoyed me was how much of the film they spoiled in the trailers, as well as cutting certain sequences from the trailer out of the final movie. The 2 short films preceding Jurassic World Dominion, titled Battle at Big Rock and the prologue, were condensed into a terrible new opening that served as one of the worst openings to a movie that I've ever seen in my life. What could have been a much more exciting introduction to the film and what had happened since Fallen Kingdom would have been a much better use of time than Sam Neill and Laura Dern's story arc. Having Battle at Big Rock and the prologue in the final cut would have been awesome, so I have no idea why they would replace it with mere flashes of these sequences. I can't say that I was disappointed by this film being so utterly atrocious, but when the story is a complete mess and you're bringing more new characters into the fold for the final movie of the trilogy that proved to be nothing more than just extending the runtime, you've got a bad film on your hands. Jeff Goldblum quite literally was the only actor I enjoyed seeing on screen, as his comedic timing seemed to always be on point, but unfortunately we didn't see enough of him throughout the film.
Don't move.
When the entire basis of your franchise is about dinosaurs, not including them as the priority was a terrible move for Jurassic World Dominion. The writing was disgustingly awful, there were too many storylines going on, and the overall runtime was way longer than it needed to be. While some scenes in isolation, namely the Malta sequence, was really well done, as a whole, the movie was garbage despite its excellent visual and practical effects, as well as the music too. This is one of the worst films of 2022, and ended up being a complete waste of time, so I'll give Jurassic World Dominion a 3 out of 10. Thank you all so much for watching. Have you seen Jurassic World Dominion? Let me know below. As always, be sure to have a look at my previous reviews of Top Gun Maverick and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and follow me on Letterboxd and Instagram for all of my latest movie reviews. This has been Kia's Reviews, signing off for now.
Don't forget to like, follow, and obey.